Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing well today. My name is Francie Warther, and I'm from Health Advocate, and I'm here today with Carly Backage, and we are going to talk to you about the Health Advocate Program that hopefully most of you are somewhat familiar with because we've been a partner with Drexel for a number of years. But our purpose today is to really get into a little bit of a deep dive with the services, tell you a little bit about the company, tell you about who you get when you call us and the services that you get, both from the advocacy side of the program as well as the employee assistance side of the program. Okay, I'm going to take you through just a really small overview of Health Advocate, just for those of you who might not be familiar with our company. We are an organization that is based in the Philadelphia area, so not too far from all of you, in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. We've been around for about 18 years. Primarily started out as a company who was there to help members navigate through the healthcare system. To make it really simple, our goal is to make healthcare easier. It can be challenging, it can be confusing, it can be overwhelming at times, but we really are here to make it easier. We want to combine technology, because we have an app and a website that we'll talk about, as well as that real-life personal touch support that we have had for a number of years and will always have. We're currently serving over 50 million members across the country. We have over 12,500 clients. So we're a pretty big organization that works with large and small companies of all industries. Our team, which I'll talk to you about in a few moments, very empathetic, very compassionate team of primarily nurses, medical directors, MDs, as well as claims and benefits specialists. Benefits that Health Advocate provides, it's that hands-on support that, again, is hard to find, for healthcare assistance in the U.S. right now. They are a team of individuals, as I said, who are compassionate, empathetic. And what's nice about Health Advocate is you can come to us, you can talk to us about your healthcare issues, and they will always remain confidential. We keep in mind we are not Drexel, we are not even the medical provider or carrier. We are that third party that is your advocate and works on your behalf, and anything that comes to us remains confidential and remains with us. And the good part is, on this page, I wanted to point out that there's no cost to the employee or to your spouse and other eligible individuals, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, which is great. I always say to people, it is free. You might as well take advantage of it. It is a benefit, a nice benefit that's brought to you by Drexel. Please take advantage of it, whether you're ill or not, or in many, many situations, which you'll find out. Again, important notice about our service, as I just mentioned, we are not the health insurance. We are not the carrier. We do not replace the health insurance either, and we do not provide medical care or recommend treatment, which means our MDs aren't going to prescribe medicine. Our nurses aren't going to tell you, oh, no, therapy isn't the way, you should get that surgery or not. They are going to provide you with enough information for you to make intelligent decisions about your medical care for you and your family members. Privacy is huge, and as I said, everything that comes to us does remain confidential. You may have heard the term HIPAA in the past, or through your jobs, or through just overall in the media, and that's really the rules that protect your healthcare and keep it private, and that's what we do. We keep everything, and all discussions remain with us. The only time that we would be discussing your healthcare with a third party is when you allow us to do that, and you must give us written permission to do that. Program overview. So I'm going to get into kind of the nuts and bolts of the advocacy program, while Carly is going to get into the nuts and bolts of the employee assistance program. What is a personal health advocate, or who is a personal health advocate? As I said, registered nurses. very experienced. Most of them come to us most actually have 20 plus years experience. You must have a minimum of at least 5 years experience to work for us as a nurse, and you have to be an RN. Benefits experts, benefits administration, claims management, providers. We're able, because we're in kind of the healthcare arena here in the Philadelphia area, to pull from a lot of great resources when it comes to claims and benefits specialists. Trained professionals on the clinical side, which Carly will talk about too, social workers, behavioral change counselors, nutritionists, mental health specialists that can really help you from all sides of the healthcare arena. All these nurses and claims and benefits specialists are supported by a team of medical directors who have varied backgrounds. They're very hands-on. They get involved in complex clinical cases, clinical trials, clinical advice and information. They're very, very much an asset and a resource for members. Single ongoing contact person, that's what I like about when you call Health Advocate. You get an intake person who will discern whether it's a clinical matter or an administrative matter or an EAP matter for that. And then you get warm transferred to that individual, and that individual opens the case and is with you for the life of the case, which is great because you don't have to call again and retell your story all over again or resend any information. Again, all these individuals are chosen for their medical expertise, commitment to service, and excellence. We help you in a variety of ways. Coordinating care is pretty much a simple example. I need to transfer a medical record. Providing support for your medical condition. I was just diagnosed with a chronic illness. I don't know anything about it. I just need help with just information. Helping you find the right doctor. We do probably millions of doctor searches every year. Helping you get a second opinion, look for that specialist. Lots of times you will need to go to more than one doctor to make an educated decision, and we'll help you get there. Help with confusing paperwork, and special help for mom and dad, which I'm going to talk about also. Coordinating care with your providers during or after a hospital stay. I have to go to the hospital, I have to get admitted, I have to get discharged. There's people I need to connect with while I'm there. Transitioning care from provider to provider, facilitating communication between providers, connecting, to elder care services or community resources for elder care individuals. So this is where kind of coordination of care comes into play. Now, throughout this, I'm going to go through a couple of examples. There's a lot of examples in here. I might not go through every one of them, but just to kind of bring things to life, I like some of these kind of case study examples. So an example here of coordination of care. With his father recovering from complicated heart surgery, John panicked when he thought about who could best take care of him when he was in the hospital. He called Health Advocate. His clinical team contacted the hospital's case manager to get updates on his father's condition, worked with them to arrange a smooth transfer to an in-network rehab facility to John's home upon his release. They also contacted his father's insurer and confirmed that he had home health care coverage and located a provider that would step in. John's father recovered well and is back at home. Perfect example, real-life example of how Health Advocate helped this member in this family. Support for your medical condition. Answer questions about your diagnosis, medical conditions, treatments, tests. You don't want to Google it if you're diagnosed with a chronic condition. You'll probably only get a couple minutes with your either GP or even when you get into a specialist. And you maybe forgot to ask a question, or you just need more information, or you want to understand the drugs that were just prescribed to you, or you want to understand the next steps in your treatment. We can be there for you. Treatment options. Research literature to identify new treatment options or cutting-edge services or just things that are out of the box that you don't know about, and provide health information to help you make the right decisions. Here's another example. James suffered with back pain for years, and he tried multiple treatments with little success. He called Health Advocate. His advocate clarified his diagnosis, answered his questions about the surgery, suggested he see a psychiatrist for evaluation to find out about any non-surgical options. And then she found out a reputable psychiatrist to help formulate questions to ask about an appointment. The therapist suggested a trial of physical therapy, after 6 weeks of James' back pain, had improved, which was great. And he also engaged with a personal trainer at a local health club at his doctor's recommendation. So again, another kind of real life example. Helping you find a doctor. Again, we do millions of these a year. We research and identify, the right doctor. We check licensure. We check that they're board certified. Make sure that they're accepting new patients. Make sure that they're within a certain radius of your home. You don't want to go to somebody that's 50 miles away. Confirm that they're in network and that they're, again, accepting new patients and making sure that they take all of your insurance and know all the nuances about your insurance. We contact them, helping to get we want a comfort feel with who we're referring to you and facilitating any kind of referrals or authorizations kind of along the way. So quick example, Rob, a recent college graduate in 1 month and to his first full-time job, feeling miserable, cold-like symptoms, unsure of his benefits, needed a doctor. His coworker suggested he call Health Advocate. The Health Advocate helped him find a doctor, schedule an appointment, and services were covered by his health plan. I also always use the example, I was living in Boston. I got transferred to Philadelphia. I need all new doctors for myself and my family members. I need all my medical records transferred. And I need appointments scheduled. In one fell swoop, Health Advocate can do all that. Second opinion, again, it kind of goes in line with finding that right doctor. We realize that comes up a lot. You have to get surgery, you have to get a procedure done. And you need a second opinion or even a third opinion. We're out there to help you find those top docs in the area, research questions about the diagnosis, arrange for tests, schedule face-to-face appointments, and interact, with those that you need to interact with. I'm going to skip over that one since we just went through a doctor search example. Confusing paperwork, claims and billing issues. You get an EOB in the mail. What is an EOB? What do I do with it? Doesn't match up to my bill. Do I pay it or not? I don't understand it. Please, Health Advocate, can you walk me through that? We can walk you through it. You get a bill in the mail. Doesn't look right. I don't understand the coding. I think I've been overbilled. I don't think I've been billed yet at all for this service. Or this was a service I had a year ago. Do I still need to pay it? All those kinds of questions we can tackle. What was covered, what wasn't covered, and why. Research ways to reduce prescription drug costs. That's another great reason to call us. And negotiating payment arrangements. If for some reason the bill is just simply outrageous and you're having a tough time paying it, we can talk to the provider about maybe putting you on a payment plan or getting a discount. This is a good example. After recent surgery, Maureen received a bill for laboratory services. Positive that she had gone in network and she was confused. She called Health Advocate. Health Advocate did some research and found out that although the providers were participating in Maureen's network, they were being balance billed. They were balance billing her for services denied by her health plan. The advocate contacted the plan, who contacted the provider and explained that as a participating group, they were obligated to accept the plan's payment as payment in full, and they did. So again, that's a perfect example. We tackle issues like that every day. The eligibility for this service, for the advocacy service, as well as the EAP service, is you, your spouse, your dependents, and your parents and parents-in-law. Again, all free of charge. It's great that it extends to your family members. Sometimes we're the sandwich generation. We're taking care of our kids, taking care of our elderly parents. We're a great service to use for both ends of the spectrum. How do we help for mom and dad? Assist retirees transitioning to a new health plan. Assist with transition from traditional insurance to Medicare HMO. We have Medicare experts on staff. We have a lot of good Medicare resources. We actually have a Medicare educational video. It's on the website. We have a lot of Medicare materials that really can help somebody who's kind of overwhelmed by getting into that Medicare arena and trying to understand, what's covered, what's not covered, what's plan A, B, C, D, etc. Also, assisted living, skilled nursing, adult daycare. We can help find all kinds of facilities and make you feel very comfortable about the decisions that you're making for your mother or father. Again, I just talked about eligibility for the program, so I'll just skip over that. This medical authorization release form is important to you only because, again, your confidentiality is important to you and it's important to us. When we are talking to a third party on your behalf, we are going to ask you to fill out this form and to sign it. What's great now, Used to be all paper, all snail mail, things like that, or faxing. Now it's all electronic, so it can easily be filled out electronically. We accept electronic signatures that are very secure. We make it very, very easy for you. And you really don't have to worry about this form unless your advocate informs you of it. If you just call us up and you want us to do a doctor search, no confidential information is going back and forth. They can do it. You don't need to sign a form. It's when we have to talk to a third party about your medical care. And that's it as far as advocacy. So I'm going to hand the reins over to Carly, and then at the end, we would be willing to take questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Francie. So the second part of the program is what we call Employee Assistance Program and Work Life. And this allows employees of Drexel and those eligible family members that Francie had talked about 24/7 access to mental health counselors. In addition to that, access to our work-life specialists to help with a range of issues which I'll talk about at, again, no cost. I cannot stress enough the confidentiality. So as Francie had mentioned earlier, this part of the service is confidential as well. Call into our team and you get connected with a licensed master's level clinician immediately, right then and there on the phone, 24 hours a day. Whether it's you calling, whether it's your mom or dad calling, whether it's a dependent calling, access to that counselor right then and there. And this counselor can help you with a variety of issues, right there on the phone, or with the option to see a counselor in person. Relationship issues, family parenting issues, adolescence. Some of the big ones that we see are depression, anxiety, substance abuse. But some of the less common things that people don't think to call us about are life's transitions. I like to call it stress from positive life changes, having a baby, moving, getting a promotion, all the really exciting things, but that also leave you feeling somewhat overwhelmed. So we can help with that basic stress management all the way up through some serious things such as depression, anxiety, and grief, stuff like that for you and your family. And the way that the sessions work is it's unlimited telephonic support, and then the option for you and your family members to see a counselor face-to-face. And the way that it works is each individual in your family gets their own kind of bank of counseling sessions. So you can go for counseling, your spouse can go for counseling, you can take a child for counseling, or a mom or dad can go to counseling. And it becomes a rather robust option for someone who's looking for support. Again, another example here, just a pretty simple one. Marie has a teenage daughter who's experiencing some symptoms and she's not sure what's going on. Sleep loss, failing grades, behavior problems, lots of stress in this, in her daughter's life. The big part of this too is that communication between her and her daughter is starting to break down and she's not sure what to do. So she calls Health Advocate. I'm feeling lost, I'm not sure how to talk with my daughter, I'm not sure what's going on with her. And we get them scheduled for counseling. We not only did a family counseling session that would accommodate their very busy schedule. We don't want to add any more stress to the individual's lives. But we also were able to do one-on-one counseling with her daughter for some more concrete coping mechanisms to deal with those stressors in her life. And the idea with this is to help individuals learn how to balance those things. People have so many things going on in their lives. To learn how to balance that, first and foremost, and then when those issues come back up, you feel more equipped to deal with them on an ongoing basis. And then, of course, you can always call back in and get additional help on an ongoing basis. And then the last piece that's really, really important from a family aspect, just knowing the eligibility and that our organization really focuses on the family as a whole, making sure that that family is building effective communication skills. So it sounds simple, her daughter's having some stress, but it turns into a couple different issues that we can all tackle within our system. And then, today, her and her daughter have a closer bond because they've learned effective communication. They learn that they have support, and they learn that no matter what they're faced, they can, feel confident and ready to face those issues. And if not, they always have that team of support behind them. Another situation that's all too common in this day and age is someone who is prescribed medication for depression and mood, who's maybe misusing some medications. And this is really common, unfortunately. In this particular situation, Jane is starting to abuse these prescribed medications. So her dependency is now starting to affect her work. Before that happens, we'd love for you to call Health Advocate and figure out how to get those stress and coping mechanisms. But when stuff like this happens for you, your spouse, your family members, just know that we're there. So we connected her with a counselor. Help her sort out those prescriptions, help her understand usage, help her not only understand it, but how to monitor that and how to stick to that regimen. And then offer some other techniques to help manage that stress other than just that medication. And making sure that we're kind of touching back in with her to make sure she doesn't need anything in the future. And, as a result of that, this individual is more closely following that recommended care and making sure she has support. Another aspect of the program is what we call work life. So I love to refer to these individuals as our research assistants because they'll basically take those issues off your plate, similar to the example that Francie talked about with the doctor find. Those types of things take time. And if you're doing that during the day, odds are you're not doing other things that you should be doing, whether it's work, whether it's, during the time when you could be doing anything else, you're spending online researching doctors and falling down that rabbit hole. We have the experts, so why not let our team do that work so that you guys feel confident you have someone working on that and you can go off and tackle some other things in your life or get back to work or help your family. Elder care, child care, home organization, time management. These are all things that our team can help out with. And just a real quick example that I like to give on the child care. So similar to what Francie had talked about with the doctor find. Yeah, you can go online and you can Google it, but it's very overwhelming and it becomes a really, really overwhelming task. Our team will take in your criteria for whatever search that you're looking for. Be it childcare for daycare, camps, I have a child with special needs, I need a specific type of therapy or day camp for that individual. Here's where I live, here are the hours, here's my budget, here's when they need to start, and let the team go off and running. And what our team does is they actually call all of those daycares, all of those camps. They confirm the availability for open spots, they confirm the pricing, they confirm any waiting lists, so that you guys don't have to do that. Can you imagine how many hours you'd spend on the phone calling all of those camps or daycares within a 5-mile radius, especially in an area like Philadelphia? So let our team do that, and they'll tie it up in a nice package and bring it back to you. So you can feel confident that you've had someone really kind of vet that process. And we'll do the same thing for elder care, as Francie had talked about with nursing homes, adult daycares, community resources, grief counseling groups. Anything within the community that might apply for that individual for home organization, time management, whatever it is that you're dealing with. There's also support from a legal and financial perspective. So in addition to the sessions that you get for free counseling with the clinical providers, each member in the eligibility also gets a free consultation with a legal or financial expert. So you actually get one free consultation per issue per year for all of those eligible members. So you can get one, your spouse can get one, your mom can get one, your dad can get one. Talking to a lawyer, talking to a financial professional. And then in addition to that, tapping into the resources that our team has on our website. Budgeting tools, calculators, worksheets, articles, webinars. Lots of really great information. So just a real life example. Gina's missing work because she's caring for her aging mother. This happens all too frequently. And you're kind of left in this situation where if you don't do one thing, something's gonna, fall by the wayside. So she's trying to work full time, take care of her family, but also take care of her aging parent. So there's not only the insurance, the healthcare, the clinical stuff going on that Francie had talked about, which we can help out with, but the stress and understanding just how to handle those tasks. So we're developing those coping strategies, but we're also locating resources for transportation to and from doctor's visits so that this individual can feel confident that her mom is getting to an appointment when she can't be able to do that. Those types of things in your community, they exist. You don't know about them, you might not be able to find them, and it takes time. We also helped with those medical appointments, get the specialist to research options for long-term care facilities, as she's in that situation where her mom is going to need to long-term care. Helping her mom find those resources also helps Gina, helps you guys, helps take that strain off your back. If your mom or dad is dealing with a healthcare issue or a mental health issue, or they need some emotional support, that's going to affect you. And that's why we treat that family as a whole unit. Some of the things we can do from a legal perspective. Again, a free consultation, you connect right with a lawyer, we'll match you up with someone who has expertise in whatever it is that you're looking for. Criminal law, civil law, domestic law, you name it. Anything and everything our lawyers are equipped to handle, we'll match you up with someone for one free consultation per issue per year. And the same for those eligible family members. So just a real life example of help with legal care. Kathy's a high school teacher and she's facing divorce. She's not only anxious, but she's distracted because it's complicated. There's children involved, there's a custody dispute. Her students' parents are also complaining that she's not engaging, so now it's starting to affect her work. So not only is, she worried about her marriage, her children, but she's also worried about her job. So she calls Health Advocate. So we get her connected with a counselor. They do some counseling directly with her. We also can talk to her about how to have those conversations with her children about the divorce and how to have those age-appropriate conversations. But we also connect her with a lawyer so that she has that legal support to go through that divorce. Now, she gets free consultation, and then with our service, if she decides to move forward with that lawyer, there's a 25% discount in those fees ongoing. And we're able to get her back to focusing on what's more important to her. Financial issues. Again, free consultation with a financial specialist, loads and loads of resources on our website. This runs the gamut from those individuals that have just gotten out of college, just gotten their first job, want to learn how to budget, want to buy a car, want to buy a house, learning how to research mortgages and loans. Okay, a couple more years ahead, you have kids, you want to start saving for them for college. We can help understand those types of options that are available, not only through Drexel, but also elsewhere. Fast forward a couple more years, now your children are going off to college. You need help with those loans. You need help with them getting resources when they're at college. All the way up through individuals retiring. Now you want to figure out how to maximize your financial support through that retirement. And again, mom and dad have access to this too. So if you have parents who are looking to retire, just know that they have access to a free consultation with a financial professional. Real life example here, Tim has lost his job. So they're having some poor money management skills already and growing debt, and it's obviously affecting him. I'm sorry, he didn't lose his job, his wife lost his job. It's affecting him and it's also affecting his job. You can just imagine how these issues spiral out of control. So he calls Health Advocate. We not only help them with those coping mechanisms, but we also set them up with couples counseling because communication is going to be at the root of, a strong foundation in their marriage. We also help them with stress management techniques, but we also connect them with a financial counselor to get that debt under control. If there's any type of medical issues from medical bills, financial issues from medical bills, we get connected on the medical side. The stuff that Francie had talked about, making sure that they're not getting charged inappropriately or paying for services that they shouldn't be paid for. So the last section we have here is just about making sure you keep Health Advocate top of mind. When we talk about Health Advocate, we talk about helping you navigate healthcare and insurance. That's really broad for a reason because there's so few things that we can't do. I always urge members, if you're not sure, just give us a call. The worst thing our team can say is, you know what, we can't help you with that. But the best thing they can do is say, we absolutely can help you out with that. And you have peace of mind that you have an expert that is dealing with those issues so you don't have to do that. Through your HR department, we have support materials. We've passed out some, and I think we've emailed some to those individuals on the phone to help you kind of keep this program top of mind. If anybody's out there who's used the service, word of mouth is huge. We get really positive feedback on how helpful our advocates are. We're one of the few organizations that you call and you get a live person right then and there, and you get their direct extension, you get direct email access to them, and you can keep calling them over and over. I don't know of any other organizations that do that. Every time I call Verizon Wireless, I got to keep retelling my story. We don't want that to happen. So just keeping that top of mind, keeping those materials, take them home, give them to your spouses, give them to your parents. Make sure they have the phone number, download the app, so you always have the phone number right then and there. If you have children that have smartphones, that are of age to deal with their own healthcare, they're going off to college, make sure they have the app before they go to college. So that if and when they need support from a medical or healthcare issue, or also from the mental health counseling aspect, you can talk to them about how they have those resources available 24 hours a day. Oh, just a segue right into the app here. So here's a picture of the app right there. If you search Health Advocate on your app stores on any of those smartphones, tablets, you can get our app, download it. All you have to do is put in your university name, and you'll get directed right to your own landing page. There's a lot you can do on the app. You can start cases, you can research information, all of the articles and tools that I talked about are all available right there from your smartphone or from your tablet. And then also on the website is available on a computer. You'll see we have a personalized link here on the bottom, healthabocate.com/Drexel. Takes you right there. Make it really, really easy for you. And then lastly, how to reach our services. We have a single toll-free 800 number that accesses everything that we talked about today. So if you're dealing with something complicated or frustrating, you don't have to worry, is it this part of the program? Is it that part of the program? I'm not sure if they do that. Just call us, and our team is trained to help you navigate whatever it is that you're facing. We also take in cases through email. So you'll see here answers@healthabocate.com. When you call in, you get a live person immediately. When you email, I always recommend not emailing for those urgent issues. Those are typically responded to within 24 hours. So doctor finders, those are huge. I submit those on email all the time. If you have an EOB, take a snapshot through the app or through the website. You can attach the document right there, send it off to an advocate. And then again, the website's here. And on the bottom are hours of operation. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you get access to a live person. And then depending on what the issue is, if it's a medical billing issue and we need to contact your health insurance carrier, we typically start working on that maybe the next day when that health insurance is open. You know, after 5 o'clock, we can't really get in contact with a lot of those folks. Our team will make sure that we're on top of it. So you don't have to call back the next day and you know, get access to those people that weren't available. I think we're gonna open the floor up for some questions. I know we're monitoring the individuals on the phone. So do we want to start with anybody in the room who has a question? Yes?
I just have a simple question. So on this form, number is 866, and up there it says 855. So I'm just wondering.
It's 866. Yes, that's a typo.
Oh, that is a typo. That's my fault.
866. Whatever flyers you all have, the correct number is on there.
That's my fault. I apologize.
Get off that page so people don't write that down. Thank you for pointing that out. We're all human. Go ahead.
So with the webinars, I know Drexel does the wellness program. Can the webinars that you can get credit for, is that accessed through the app?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Everything that you have, that we have with
Through
Health
Health
Advocate
Advocate
is
is all accessed
accessed through the
together.
app and the website.
Yep. Any other questions from individuals in the room? Yes.
Can they help you do the POAs, power of attorney for healthcare
Yep.
and financial?
Yep, so we have lots of templates or simple forms for those types of things. But if you download the form and you're not sure how to complete it, which oftentimes happens, you can call our team and we'll walk you through it. We can connect you with a lawyer to help you figure out how to file those types of things. Absolutely. Anything else in the room here? Okay, Monty, do we have any questions from the online folks? No questions. Wow,
None?
that's a first.
I'm surprised.
Okay, well, we'll give them a couple more minutes if anything comes up. We'll be available after the presentation if you guys have questions that you need to ask us one-on-one. And again, the biggest thing I always like to stress is just call them. You know, if you have a mom or dad struggling with something, call with them. They can call directly. If you're not sure, it's a really sensitive issue, you're always welcome to route that through HR and get in contact with our team, but we're here for you guys 24/7. All right. Anything else?
So, well, someone just wanted the question repeated. I'm assuming it was the last question about the power.
The power of attorney, yes. So the question was, do we help out with power of attorney? So from a legal perspective, our team absolutely can help out with that. We have templates on our website that have those forms to help you be guided. If you have questions about the form, you can always contact our team and get connected with a legal expert to make sure that you're completing it properly, if you have any questions about filing it, and really help support you.
That's a pretty common question, too. We get that a lot. Another thing is, I know a rental document. You know, people are renting, have a rental property, and they just want a generic rental document. That's in there. As Carly said, tons and tons of templated forms that could just make your life so much easier.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for the time. Hope that you use the service. If you tell your friends.